Welcome back to our program. I'm your host Masikere, and tonight we're talking about the challenge of African traditional religion. And before the break, we're talking about some of the benefits. And one of them, Mr. John Nganga told us, it will help you to go back and read the Bible, and also it creates the dividing line. And Mr. John Nganga, maybe you can tell us of normalism. Maybe explain what is normalism, and maybe tell us, is normalism any less a challenge?
Several things we need to understand. We have established that the crisis that the African traditional religion is bringing to the church is a good crisis because it will cause the African pastors, the African theologians to check who is the source of their authority. If Jehovah is the source of authority, they'll be ready to be hated, to be told off by the politicians in order to stick with what the scriptures say. And when that happens, we'll be left with a church that is pure. A church where whoever joins it because of proper motives, not just as a club. And we have said that's a very big benefit, because a compromised church is not a church at all. You see, the Bible is absolutely clear. God is a jealous God. His glory he will not share with anyone. So when you have a church that allows everybody to come in, any politician can come and he says, I'm a Christian, and he has several wives, he is immoral, he is corrupt, and he's still part of the church tradition. The one moment he is undergoing traditional rites. The next moment, he's going through church rites. It's not clear where the stand is. That compromised church will not have power from God. Because he's saying, I can't be me in a compromised church. My glory, I not share. If you are involved both in traditional worship, and at the same time, you are involved in God, when things happen, if the rain comes, who will get the glory? The fact that you sacrificed in Mount Kenya, or the fact that you went to Jehovah through Jesus Christ? So that's what we're calling a benefit. But it's related with the next thing, that a compromised church is the breeding ground for nominalism. What is nominalism? Nominalism is being one by name. When you say you are an African by name, it means you are behaving like a white man, but you're still calling yourself an African. If you say you are a Muslim by name, it means you are calling yourself a Muslim, but the truth is you don't do all the requirements of the Quran. Anybody who does not obey the scriptures in totality is a nominal Christian. So nominalism is that problem of naming yourself one thing and doing the other. These are people who on Sunday morning will be in church, and in the afternoon they're running after girls. These are the people who in Sunday morning are in the church, and in the afternoon they are with somebody's husband. Now this is what is happening in a compromised church. And so those people, we can only call them nominal Christians. And so they are encouraging nominalism. When nominalism takes over a church, then you start understanding that whenever there are church elections, the nominal people, because they are the ones giving the money, doing the right thing, they are the ones who end up in the leadership of the church. Within no time, even the pastor has to compromise, because the church leadership is with him. So can you see then, your question is nominalism a challenge? Wow. To me, it's a bigger challenge than even ATR. Because the moment you think you are okay and you are nominal, you start not caring about God, not caring about reading the Bible, just caring what do people think. Do people accept me? The pastor is the one who baptized my baby. The pastor is the one who wedded my daughter. The pastor even came to my ceremony during my birthday. So you feel like you are accepted by the church so it's okay. Yet you know that although you claim to be a Christian, your heart has not yet changed. And because of that, you are nominal. So what's the problem? Why is it a challenge? Because you don't know Christ, and you don't know that you don't know, you think you are okay. If you are a total non-Christian, there is a bigger possibility of you getting saved than when you are nominal. Because nominal people do not know they have a need. Even they say, I'm saved in my own way. In other words, they say, you are saved, yes, even me, I'm saved in my own way. But total non-Christians who are doing all kind of immorality and issues out there, they keep thinking, one day, I hope Jesus can save me. They have a much easier time to come to God, the total non-Christians, than the one who are in the church. The second problem is, nominal people will make it harder for true Christians to practice. Because now they have come into the church, like the Arab who said, let the head of the camel enter into a tent. Within no time, within no time, the owner of the tent was thrown out, so the camel can fit into the tent. In the same way, when nominalism comes into the church, it kind of takes over. Somebody has said, there is nothing wrong with, absolutely nothing wrong with the sheep in the sea. There is something wrong with the sea in the sheep. When the sea is in the sheep, we call them sinking. Similarly, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the church in the world. There is something wrong when the world is in the church. Because that church is actually sinking. And that's what we are calling the challenge of nominalism. We will have to deal with it. Those who pray and fast, we need to pray for the church that will remove nominalism. That the people will not be Christians by name. They will be Christians from the heart. Because they will surrender themselves in totality to the control of the master. You know, when you are called a disciple, you are a disciple because you follow a master. And if he is a master, it means you don't question him. He asks you to jump, you ask how high. You don't ask why. Because if he is a master, you are willing to be commanded by him. And that's what it means to be a Christian. So it's important that you understand, and I'm hoping those listening to us are going to start understanding and asking themselves, can I be described as nominal? I am not in traditional religion myself, but even in Christianity, there are some things I feel I need to do, others I don't feel like doing. I have Christianity at home, but I'm not Christianity in the office. I have Christianity in the office, but I don't feel like I want to commit myself to the church. In fact, in the church, they call themselves backbenchers, as if the church is a parliament. I think it's important that we come back to where the church is one, where everybody has totally surrendered themselves to the Lord.
Back to you, Mr. John N. Nganga. Talking of modernism, how is modernism supposed to be dealt with in relation to traditional?
So the three challenges you've gone through far is the change of our African traditional religion, a resurgence back in the church. Second challenge is the challenge of nominalism, where many people are now nominal Christian, whereas originally to become a Christian meant to choose the way of suffering and persecution. Now to become a Christian is to be civilized. Now the third problem is the one we call postmodernism. Postmodernism is a new worldview that is sweeping from the West but has already arrived in Africa, where several things are assumed. Number one, it is assumed that the Bible is not the only source of information. In postmodernism, the Bible is okay, but there are other sources. So you find people no longer, whereas earlier you could preach to somebody and they get very offended, it's no longer possible to get offended. Why? You know clearly, yours is your idea. What's mine? In postmodernism, you believe, I believe, I don't interfere with your belief, don't interfere with my belief. It's a new way of nobody is right. Not through this. Truth is relative. So I will not criticize you, but don't criticize me either. And many of the the people in the West now, you can't quarrel with them. If you talk about Christianity, it's okay. You know, everybody must. And now, if you start talking about Christianity, you are being thought to be a bigot. What's wrong with you? Don't you understand that we all can be ourselves? Keep your belief, I keep with mine. And there may, if it goes a little further, it may come to a time where you are not allowed to preach to anybody. Your people will be taken away from you because you are teaching them religion. Everybody has their own religion. It is this postmodernism that is starting to define that you don't even know whether you're a boy or a girl. They want to introduce into our schools a thing that will confuse our children. A girl has already known there's a girl, and a boy has always known they're a boy, but they're being told you are not a girl because you go to a girl's toilet. You are a girl if you think you are a boy, even if you're a girl and you go to a girl's toilet. You're a boy if your head thinks you're a boy. All that is part of the new worldview that says what you believe and what I believe. I'm allowing you to believe what you believe. I can believe what I believe, and that we are all free to believe our own thing. Can you see that's going to be a very big challenge to the church? Yeah. Because how will the church teach people who don't even quarrel back, don't even have a problem, because they believe clearly the child can choose, anybody can choose. The scriptures are clear. Bring up the child the way they should go, the way of God. It is important that we understand postmodernism must not be allowed to take over the church. We must stick with the historical Christianity as written in the scriptures, even at the face of challenge of postmodernism.
Okay. We've come to the end of our program tonight. We've been talking about challenge of ATR, that is African Traditional Religion. I'm your host, Masekere. Have a blessed night.